Listen to me. Never be average. I need you to feel this in your bones. Never be average. You weren't born for average. You weren't created just to pay bills, complain about life, and die in regret. You've got something inside of you that's rare, something powerful. But the average is out here trying to rob you of it. See, average people wake up with no urgency. They move slow, think small, dream less. They hit snooze on their destiny, but you've got to wake up like your life depends on it, because it does. That's average is a mindset, an invisible cage that traps people long before they even realize it. It's the voice that whispers, you've done enough, even when deep down you know you're capable of more. It's the decision to stop at 70%, quit when it gets uncomfortable, to be satisfied with surviving instead of thriving. People think average is just about results, grades, income, fitness, but it starts much earlier than that. It starts in your thinking. It starts in the way you view yourself and your potential. And once you allow that mindset to settle in, it begins to affect every part of your life. You see, average people aren't born average. They're taught to accept average. Maybe it was a parent who stopped chasing their dream and told you to be unrealistic. Maybe it was a teacher who said you'd never be more than average. Maybe it was failure that made you feel like you were never meant to stand out. But the truth is, average only becomes your identity if you agree with it, if you accept it, if you choose to live in it. And the danger of average is that it's easy. It's comfortable. It doesn't ask you to risk anything. It doesn't require courage. It lets you stay where you are, and it always gives you an excuse. Once you accept average as a mindset, you stop challenging yourself. You avoid pressure. You avoid growth. You look at someone succeeding and say, that's not for me. You tell yourself stories like, I'm just not that smart, or I wasn't born for that, or I don't have the resources. But those are lies average people tell themselves to justify quitting. The truth is, most people aren't pushing anywhere near their potential. They've just convinced themselves that they peaked. That lie keeps them stuck. It's not their ability that's the problem. It's their belief system. You have to understand that your mind is the first battlefield. If you lose in your head, you'll lose everywhere else. You can have talent, vision, and opportunity, but if your mindset is average, you'll sabotage yourself every single time. You'll shrink in big moments. You'll fold under pressure. You'll celebrate too early. You'll talk more than you act. That's what average does. It makes you feel good temporarily while it slowly robs you of greatness. When you carry an average mindset, you start looking for validation instead of elevation. You do just enough to fit in. You hide your gifts. You fear standing out because it might bring criticism. You let other people define your limits. You play small so others feel comfortable. And in doing so, you betray the greatness within you. But the people who change the world, the people who lead, the people who break generational curses, they refuse to think like everyone else. They challenge their beliefs. They refuse to accept mediocrity as their standard. They declare war on every thought that tells them they're not enough. This is why your mindset matters more than anything else. Because if you can shift your thinking, you can shift your life. When you start believing that average is unacceptable, your actions will follow. You'll push harder. You'll learn faster. You'll stop settling for easy wins and start chasing real growth. You'll set a higher standard, not just for what you do, but for who you are. You'll stop blaming and start building. You'll stop coasting and start climbing. And that shift doesn't begin with motivation. It begins with a decision. A decision to no longer entertain thoughts that shrink your vision. A decision to catch yourself every time you're about to say, that's good enough. And instead add, I did, I give it everything. Because average people say, I tried. Great people say, I finished. Average people talk about what they could have done. Great people show what they did. And the only difference is the mindset. The only difference is what they allow to live in their head rent-free. Most people are walking around with a thermostat of potential set on low because their mindset is locked on a safe. But life doesn't reward safe. It rewards bold. It rewards committed. It rewards those who train their mind to rise above excuse and reject anything less than excellence. You can have dreams, but if your mindset is average, your dreams will die in excuses. You can have all the tools, but if your mindset is stuck in fear and doubt, you'll never pick them up. That's why the first thing you must do is recognize when average thinking shows up and destroy it at the door. Because if you let it in, it will unpack its bags, make itself at home, and before you know it, you're living a life you don't even recognize, one built on safety instead of purpose, fear instead of faith, routine instead of passion. Success is not handed out. It's earned through sacrifice and discipline. Everyone wants the reward, but few are willing to pay the price. People say they want success, but they also want to sleep in, scroll all day, party every weekend, and complain when things get hard. You can't have both. You can't want to be great and live average at the same time. There's a price for greatness, and it's paid in the currency of hard choices and consistent effort. Sacrifice means saying no when it's uncomfortable, when it hurts, when it's inconvenient. It means doing what needs to be done, not just what you feel like doing. The truth is, successful people don't have more time than you. They're not always more talented. They just make different decisions. While others are distracted, they're locked in. While others are resting, they're working. While others are playing, they're preparing. Discipline is the bridge between what you want and what you get. Without it, dreams stay dreams. With it, dreams turn into plans, and plans turn into action. It's not a one-time thing either. Discipline means showing up every day, even when there's no applause, even when you're tired, even when nobody's watching. It means doing when you don't feel like it, because your commitment is stronger than your feeling. It's stronger than your feelings. You have to understand that every yes to success is a no to something else. You want to build a business? Then say no to Netflix marathon. You want to get in shape? Say no to junk food and laziness. You want to master your craft? Say no to wasting time. People think discipline is punishment, but it's freedom. It's freedom from regret, freedom from mediocrity, freedom from living beneath your potential. Sacrifice isn't losing, it's investing. You give up what you want now for what you want most. You delay the immediate gratification for a permanent transformation. But most people won't do that. Most people want comfort more than they want success. They want ease more than they want growth. They want fun more than they want freedom. So they never push through pain. They quit when it gets tough. They choose the shortcut, the easy route. The popular success doesn't live on that path. Success is hotter than the hard road, the uphill climb, the lonely grind. If you want it, you've got to fight for it. You've got to be willing to suffer for it. You've got to choose sacrifice over shortcuts every single time. Discipline means training your mind and body to obey your goals. It's waking up when your alarm goes off, not when you feel rested. It's sticking to your routine when you don't see results yet. It's finishing the workout, the project, the plan, even when motivation disappears. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. It's what turns average effort into elite performance. It's what separates the people who try from the people who achieve. There's no progress without discipline. You won't always feel inspired. You won't always feel strong. You won't always feel like giving 100%. But that's exactly when you need to lean in. That's the test. Can you show up when it's hard? Can you grind when it's boring? Can you stick to the process when the outcome is uncertain? That's what makes winners. Not talent, not luck, but the ability to stay consistent when others fall off. Discipline doesn't always show results right away, but it compounds over time. Every rep, every session, every early morning, it adds up. It builds resilience, it builds confidence, it builds character. Sacrifice and discipline aren't just actions, they're habits, they're daily decisions. They become a lifestyle. And once you build them into your identity, they start to work for you. They carry you on the days when your willpower is weak. They protect your momentum. They keep your standards high. Most people look for a way around the work. They want hacks and secrets and cheat codes. But the real secret is that there's no secret. It's discipline. It's sacrifice. It's doing the work when no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when nothing feels glamorous. But because those who live with discipline eventually get to live with results. Those who choose sacrifice now get to live a life most people only dream about. And it all starts with a decision to stop chasing comfort and start chasing growth. Comfort zones are one of the most dangerous places to live. They feel good. They feel safe. They feel familiar. But they are silent killers of dreams, growth, and purpose. When you stay in your comfort zone, you trade long-term progress for short-term ease. You exchange growth for stagnation. And before you even realize it, years go by and you haven't moved forward. You've been doing the same things, thinking the same thoughts, avoiding the same fears, and staying stuck in the same pattern. It's not that you can't do more. It's that you're afraid of what happens when you step into the unknown. The comfort zone is seductive. It tells you that you're okay where you are, that there's no need to change, no need to stretch, no need to be uncomfortable. It lies to you, telling you that playing it safe is the smart move, that risk is dangerous, that pain is to be avoided at all costs. But growth doesn't come without pain. Transformation doesn't happen without discomfort. Everything you want, your next level, your breakthrough, your greatness, it lives on the other side of uncomfortable. Stepping outside your comfort zone means confronting fear. It means doing things that make your hands shake and your heart race. It means showing up when you feel unqualified, speaking when your voice is trembling, trying when the outcome is uncertain. It means putting yourself in situations where you could fail, where you could fall, where you could be judged. And that's exactly why most people don't do it. They rather stay in the illusion of safety than face the discomfort of growth. But the people who succeed, the people who evolve, are the ones who keep pushing boundaries. They chase discomfort. They look for the hard thing, the scary thing, the thing that makes them nervous, because they know that's where growth lives. Growth is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to stretch you, challenge you, break you out of routine. The gym isn't comfortable, but it builds strength. Waking up early isn't comfortable, but it builds discipline. Having hard conversations, taking bold steps, trying new skills, none of it feels good at first. But every time you choose discomfort, you expand your capacity. You become stronger, wiser, more confident. You start to develop the mental toughness that average people never build because they never step outside what they know. The problem is, we're conditioned to seek comfort. We're raised in systems that reward safety, that push conformity, that teach us to follow the rules and avoid risk. But if you want an extraordinary life, you can't think like everyone else. You can't live by the rules of comfort. You've got to challenge what you've been taught. You've got to unlearn the belief that comfort equals happiness. Because real fulfillment doesn't come from being comfortable. It comes from becoming who you were meant to be. And that version of you is not hiding in the familiar. That version is built through challenge, through pressure, through intentional discomfort. Everything worthwhile comes with resistance. You want to be stronger? You have to lift heavier weights. You want to be smarter? You have to study harder subjects. You want to lead? You have to make harder decisions in every area of life. Growth demands a price, and comfort never wants you to pay it. Comfort says, stay quiet, stay small, stay safe. But growth says, speak up, stand tall, take risks. One leads to mediocrity, the other leads to greatness. The truth is, your future is shaped by your relationship with discomfort. If you run from it, you'll never rise. If you fear it, you'll never grow. But if you embrace it, lean into it, walk through it, you'll become unstoppable. You'll develop grit, resilience, and character. You'll stop seeing failure as something to avoid and start seeing it as something to learn from. You'll stop waiting for the perfect time and start creating it. Because the comfort zone isn't just a place, it's a mindset. And once you break out of it, you start seeing everything differently. You stop being controlled by fear and start being led by purpose. You stop worrying about how hard it feels and start focusing on how much it's building you. You stop living beneath your potential and start becoming everything you were born to be. Time is the most valuable resource you have. And the most dangerous lie you can believe is that you have plenty of it. The clock is always ticking, and every second that passes is one you will never get back. Yet people move through life like they got an unlimited supply. They act like they can chase their dreams later, fix their habits tomorrow, and start living with purpose some other time. But later is not promised. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Every moment you delay is a moment wasted, and those moments add up to years of regret. People don't fail because they aren't talented or smart. They fail because they lack urgency. They keep pushing things off, waiting for motivation to show up, waiting for circumstances to change, waiting for the right time. But there is no perfect time. There is only now. The difference between those who achieve and those who don't is that achievers treat every day like it matters. They show up with intensity. They make their moves with purpose. They don't waste energy complaining or procrastinating. They act, they move, they execute. Because they know that while others are busy planning, they're out there doing. The truth is, time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't stop because you're tired or afraid. It keeps moving whether you're using it or wasting it. And the scary part is, you won't always see the consequences of wasted time right away. It's not like money where you can check your bank account. Wasted time is invisible. It shows up later when the opportunity is gone, when your energy is low, when you're stuck in a life that doesn't fulfill you, and you're not even sure how you got there. That's when it hits. That's when you realize you can't go back and buy those hours, those days, those chances you let slip by. Urgency means moving with focus, with clarity, with intention. It's not about rushing. It's about eliminating delay. It's about understanding that time is your most powerful weapon when used well, and your most silent enemy when ignored. People think urgency is only for crises, but the real crisis is how casually people treat their lives. They scroll through hours of distraction, binge their way through weeks of comfort, and coast through months of missed potential, then wonder why nothing changes. Nothing changes because you didn't move. Nothing shifts because you didn't act. Urgency forces you to make decisions. It strips away the luxury of indecision. It makes you look at your life and ask, what am I doing with the time I've been given? Because you're not just killing time. You're killing opportunity, killing dreams, killing momentum. Every minute you spend hesitating, someone else is advancing. Someone else is reading, learning, growing, grinding. And if you keep waiting, that gap between you and them won't close, it'll widen. Urgency closes that gap. Urgency keeps you hungry. Urgency keeps you focused on what matters most. When you move with urgency, you don't wait for the alarm clock, you beat it. You don't wait for the conditions to be perfect. You start where you are. You don't wait for someone to push you. You push yourself. You build a different rhythm, a different energy, a different level of consistency. You start treating every day like an opportunity instead of a chore. You stop sleeping on your potential and start waking up with purpose. People confuse being busy with being urgent, but being busy doesn't mean you're moving forward. Urgency is about direction, not just motion. It's about knowing what your goals are and attacking them with relentless energy. It's about choosing productivity over distraction, consistency over comfort, excellence over excuses. It's about knowing that every task matters, every rep counts, every moment adds up. You don't need more time. You need to stop wasting the time you already had. You need to get clear on what you want and then chase it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Every minute you waste is a minute you could have used to build something, to learn something, to become something more than you were yesterday. Urgency is not about fear, it's about respect. It's about respecting your time, your life, your calling. It's about showing up like you were made for something greater, like your presence matters, like your work has impact. When you move with urgency, you stop asking for permission. You stop waiting for opportunities to find you. You go create them. You go demand them. You go earn them. Greatness doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't come in bursts of excitement. It's built through relentless consistency, through the small daily decisions that seem insignificant in the moment, but add up over time. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack talent or vision. They fail because they quit showing up. They start strong, full of energy and enthusiasm, but they don't finish. They stop when it gets boring. They stop when it stops being exciting. They stop when they don't see instant results. But the greats, they keep showing up long after the feelings fade. They don't just rely on motivation. They rely on habit. Consistency is the foundation of mastery. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. It's the repetition, the discipline, the grind. It's doing the same thing over and over with excellence, even when no one is watching, even when no one is applauding. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing the right things persistently. It's easy to work hard for a day. It's easy to be focused for a week. But can you do it day after day, week after week when it feels like you're not getting anywhere? That's where greatness is forged. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows, where no one sees you, but you keep grinding anyway. Everyone wants to win, but few are willing to be consistent enough to earn it. They want shortcuts, quick hacks, instant results. But success doesn't care about your need for speed. It responds to consistency. You plant the seed, water it, and give it light every single day. You don't dig it up every week to check on the progress. You trust the process. You stay consistent. And over time, that consistency produces fruit. Not because you were the most gifted, but because you refused to quit. Consistency builds credibility. It builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce the belief that you are disciplined, focused, and dependable. And every time you break that commitment, you reinforce the opposite. The way you do anything becomes the way you do everything. If you're inconsistent in one area of life, it begins to bleed into others. Your fitness, your mindset, your relationships, your finances, they're all connected. Consistency in one area strengthens the others. Inconsistency weakens them all. One of the biggest myths is that you have to feel good to perform well. You don't. You have to be committed. Feelings come and go. Discipline stays. The people who rise to the top don't always feel motivated. They're just consistent. They train when they're tired. They show up when they're uninspired. They do the work even when they don't want to, because they've made a decision that their goals matter more than their mood. And over time, consistency becomes a superpower. It separates the pretenders from the producers, the amateurs from the professionals, or the dreamers from the doers. You can't wait for the perfect moment. You create it through consistent effort. You can't rely on bursts of inspiration. You build momentum through routine. Whether it's early mornings, late nights, or everything in between, consistency is what makes you unshakable. It's what makes you resilient. It's what makes you unstoppable. It doesn't mean you won't make mistakes or have setbacks. It means you keep coming back. You keep showing up. You keep building brick by brick. There are no secrets, no magic formulas, just choices, daily choices, hourly choices. Do you train or skip? Do you focus or procrastinate? Do you give 100% or just enough to get by? Those choices compound. They either build you or break you. And here's the truth. The results you get are a reflection of the consistency you maintain. You can't cheat the grind. You can't fake progress. You can't hope your way into success. You work your way into it step by step, rep by rep, day by day. Being consistent doesn't mean you do everything perfectly. It means you keep showing up. You adapt, you adjust, but you don't stop. Even when it's hard, even when it's hard, even when no one claps for you, you keep doing the work because you know that greatness isn't built in the moments when you feel like it. It's built in the moments when you don't. When everything inside you says, take a break or skip this one, or no one will notice, and you still choose to show up, that's the moment that separates you from average. That's when you prove to yourself that this is more than a dream. It's a mission. It's a standard. It's who you are. Your future is your responsibility, not your parents, not your boss, not the system, not your environment. It belongs to you. And the sooner you accept that truth, the faster you gain power over your life. Blaming others might feel good for a moment. It might give you an excuse, a reason to stay where you are. But it never moves you forward. Blame keeps you stuck. Responsibility sets you free, because when you take responsibility, you also take back control. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You stop waiting for direction and start leading yourself. You stop asking for permission to be great and start acting like greatness is already inside of you. Every excuse you make delays your destiny. Every time you say, they didn't support me. I wasn't given a chance. The timing wasn't right. You give your power away. You hand over the keys to your future and sit in the passenger seat of your own life. But real growth begins when you stop doing that. When you stop externalizing the problem and start internalizing the solution. Because if someone else is in control, then you're helpless. But if it's on you, that means you can fix it, build it, change it, elevate it. And that is where transformation starts. Owning your light means facing hard truths. It means looking in the mirror and admitting that your habits, your choices, your mindset, those are the things shaping your results. So not your lack of luck, it's your lack of preparation. It's not your background, it's your attitude. It's not your competition, it's your lack of execution. And that kind of honesty is rare because it's painful. It exposes you. It strips away the lies you've been telling yourself, but it also gives you power. Because once you face it, you can fix it. People waste years waiting for someone to hand them success, waiting for the right moment, the right connection, the right conditions. But the truth is, the right moment is now. The right conditions are the ones you create. And the right connection is between your current grind and your future reward. You're not going to be rescued. You're not going to be discovered. You're going to be built by your choices, by your consistency, by your daily decisions to show up, to fight through the noise, to block out the distractions, and to get it done anyway. Responsibility doesn't mean you have to do it all alone, but it does mean you have to be accountable for how you show up in your life. You can have help, you can have support, but no one can do your push-ups for you. No one can build your discipline. No one can chase your dream like you can. People can cheer you on, but they can't carry you. You gotta be the one to lace up, to step in the arena, to take the hits and keep moving. Because your future is not a gift. It's a result. It's the outcome of what you're doing today, right now, in this moment. Taking responsibility also means refusing to stay small. It means you stop waiting for clarity and start moving in faith. You stop minimizing your potential just because the people around you are comfortable playing it safe. You stop shrinking your goals to fit other people's expectations. When you take ownership of your future, you stop being reactive and start being strategic. You set the pace. You define the standard. You decide the narrative. You wake up every day with the mindset that no matter what happens, you're going to find a way. You're going to keep pushing, and you're going to stay committed to becoming the best version of yourself. Most people will never experience their true potential because they never fully commit to themselves. They half-step, they dabble, they hesitate. But when you take full responsibility, hesitation disappears. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what do I need to do to make it work? You stop thinking like a victim and start acting like a visionary. You take initiative, you set goals and actually follow through. You stop negotiating with laziness and start holding yourself accountable. You build discipline not because someone is watching, but because you expect more from yourself. And the real beauty of taking responsibility is that it forces you to grow. It forces you to rise to the level of your potential, not your comfort. You start to become the person who can handle the dream you've been chasing. You stop waiting for the door to open and start kicking it down. You stop blaming your past and start designing your future. You realize that you don't need permission, you need commitment. You don't need more time, you need more focus. You don't need more chances, you need more effort. You become the kind of person who doesn't just dream, but deliver. So now the choice is yours. You can keep living like average is acceptable. You can keep hitting snooze on your purpose. You can keep waiting, hesitating, doubting, and shrinking, or you can rise. You can take back control. You can declare right now that you will never be average again. You can step into the discomfort, embrace the sacrifice, live with urgency, move with consistency, and own your future like your life depends on it, because it does. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, the world doesn't need more average. It needs you fully awake, fully alive, fully committed. So get up, lock in, go all in. And remember this for the rest of your life, average is a choice. Choose greatness every single day.